There's a great many cons to dealing with a gluten-free lifestyle. One of them in particular is taste. I don't know if you've ever had bread without gluten in it, but as I said, it's the binding agent. It's basically like taking bread that you've had for 3 weeks and then putting it on your sandwich. It's very dry and very tasteless. There is one solution, and I know this sounds bizarre, but they have gluten-free gluten, which is a gluten substitute. So if I'm making pancakes for my son in the morning, this stuff is dry and crumbly and awful. But if I have a teaspoon of this, then it makes it where it almost tastes like a regular pancake. But you're not going to get this food to taste exactly the way it's supposed to. I mean, you can taste the difference in a gluten-free pretzel versus a regular pretzel. But there are some good food choices that do actually taste good, but it's trial and error. I wouldn't recommend filling your cart the first time you go to a grocery store. Take a couple things at a time and taste them and see what you think will work for you, because in essence, if your child's not going to eat it, it's pointless. The other thing, of course, another con would be availability, and these products I go literally all over town for. I go to one place for his pretzels and his cookies, and then I have another place for his hot dogs, because meats also can have gluten in them as well, especially processed meats. So if you're looking at hot dogs and pepperoni and salami and lunch meat, things like that, you're going to find a lot of gluten in them, so you have to go to a specialized store. So I literally go to 3 stores just to get food for my son. I can't just go through the drive-through at a particular fast food restaurant and order what I want off the menu. Also, another negative, especially having a 5-year-old, is going to parties. He can't understand why he can't eat the big giant cake that's shaped like a clown, that he has his own cake. But obviously the way he's going to react to the gluten, it's more important for him to not have that cake. So at his party, I make a gluten-free cake and everybody understands, but going to another child's party, I always bring candies and treats that he's able to eat so he doesn't feel left out. But it is a big con, and obviously he is troubled by the fact that he can't have what the other children have. But they're not going to go home and have diarrhea and sweat profusely and abdominal cramps either. And then pretty much the last con, I would say, as a parent, is explaining this. People think you're overreacting, or you're, smothering your child with too much information, and they don't really think of it as a reality, that these things really happen. So they'll slip your child on the side, oh, your mom's crazy, give her, you can have this cookie. And then when the child comes home, you realize what happened. So I don't think people realize the severity of the disorder. They minimize it, and you're constantly having to explain it. So that also can be a very negative thing to deal with when dealing with the gluten-free world.